y'all, but it wouldn't start. So come on in, y'all. I told y'all I do videos on the weekends. Okay? Weekends and one day a week now on this channel. Just so y'all can keep the channel. So this is a pop-up video. Okay, I'm going to be talking about different things, but this video is going to trigger people. Okay, so I got the answer to every decision you make comes from doing this, and this is the answer. Okay, so I know some of y'all are like, oh, I always have Jill Rose telling me what the answer is. But y'all, there's only one answer. There's only one true answer. And once you get to that answer, then whatever you were deciding to do, the micro answers for that will be given to you. Okay? You will attract the micro answers. I'm going to get deeper in this, so we're going to wait till we get more people in here, y'all. But I bought this new little juice thingy here. And it has like the time, so I have at least 12 ounces of hydration water in here. So I'm going to sip this here. So hopefully we'll get more people in here. I'm waiting till we get more people. So just to cover the rules, y'all, no negativity and hate and attacks on the weekend, y'all. Keep it positive, okay? All right. If there's anybody in here who don't like 4C here, who don't like ebony looking women, then don't listen. Okay? So this video is going to trigger a lot of people. There's going to be people triggered. Now, I was asking the creator, what answer do I need to end with so that I know I can do what I plan to do? And the creator told me the answer is if it leads back to them. If it leads back to the Most High, if that's the final answer, like when you're playing a game show, find your final answer. You know, when you're playing Trivial Pursuit. If the final answer leads to the creator of all life and death, then go ahead and do it. Okay? There's no way to force that to be the final answer. There's no way to bend the question to make that be the final answer. So if that's the final answer, which is the creator of all life and death, if that's your final answer, then you know that what you're doing is going to work in your favor eventually. And it's going to work in other people's favor. That you're going to be protected when you do it. That any other micro answers that you need to keep doing what you plan to do, those answers are going to come to you. They're going to come as synchronicities and on your life path. But you will never get that. Those micro answer synchronicities will never come if the final answer did not be yes from the creator. It must be yes, a hard yes, like boom, right? Like the judge just slamming the book down, like final yes from the creator. And this goes for every decision you're trying to make. Your diet, your self-care, your relationships, your workouts. Like you literally have to sit down with every part of your life and literally keep asking why until the final answer is yes from the Most High. Keep asking why until the final answer is yes from the Most High. Okay. Not the Most High from whoever is in charge of the matrix here. Not from the Most High who's running your family. Not from the Most High who's paying your bills or paying your cutting your check, giving you a check. I'm talking about the creator of all life, the creator of the metaphysical world, because even when we're not here, the metaphysical world's going to always exist. That cannot be destroyed. It was here before we came here, and it's going to be here when we're not here. So the point is that which has created the metaphysical world has allowed this physical world to exist. So the judgment and the answer has to come from the power that created the metaphysical world. This is deep though, right? Okay. If you'd like to send a cash appreciation donation, you can send it to my cash app at money sign Coach V Hunter. So I'm going to give you an example after I sip my juice. Hydrate. We have to remember to hydrate when we are releasing. Okay? Otherwise, we don't really have the emotional breakthrough that we want when we're done releasing. And when you're teaching, you're still releasing. Okay? Like if you're teaching in a live video, you're releasing. All right, so let's get into an example. And I'll share a part of my life story. If this is making sense to you already, please hit the like button so the video can get to more people. When y'all don't hit that like button, it doesn't get shared. Like it doesn't get in the news feed for more people to see the video. So y'all don't be sitting just watching these videos and not hitting the like button. Okay? Don't do that, y'all. Cause that means you're hogging the content. You're not letting other people have a chance to see the video. Okay. That's something I learned. The creator gave me answers about YouTube recently, and that's one of the things that I found out. Like when you are a African American creator, you have to keep in mind that when you hit like on other African American creators' channels, you help their community grow like the white people's community on YouTube. Okay? YouTube is going to recommend any videos where the likes go up. Period. Okay? Because likes equal to an extra sub. And if they see that those subs and the likes are increasing, then they'll increase the promotion of that video, which means more divine ones will see it in their newsfeed. Okay. All right. So I had to go over that. So example about the answer. When I was trying to decide whether I was going to put a relaxer in my hair or straighten or perm my hair, I realized back in my 20s, I never asked why. And then when I did finally start asking why, my answer always led to a human power, and never led to a metaphysical power like the Most High. When I said, why should I put a relaxer in my hair? When I kept saying why, it always led to more job opportunities in the white workplace in European America. Okay, European America. That's what I got. I said, oh, it'll lead me to get more likes and compliments. Um, I'll fit in more, and it's like, think about that now. And I'm like, I don't think that Jesus was worried about that. Like, I don't think that Jesus was worried about whether his hair will allow him to fit in more, or whether um, his hair texture was acceptable to do God's work. Okay? Because really, everything you're doing better be God's work, or you shouldn't be doing it. Like, for real. And the only way to know if it's God work, if it leads to a hard yes of the Most High. That's your final answer. Okay? If you keep on digging into the why, and it always leads to just benefits from humankind, if it always just leads to more peace with other humans, as if you need humans to give you peace, like you don't. Okay? There's people who found peace being up in the mountains for months and months by themselves. So the point is, what I'm making is If it doesn't, oh y'all, look at that. Look at that. I want y'all to see the animal there. Y'all see that animal? Y'all see it? There's a groundhog there. Looks like a mole or a groundhog sitting in the grass. Um, if if it doesn't lead to a hard yes from God, the creator, whatever name you give God, Allah, the Most High, whatever, then I can tell you right now, it's actually working against you. Okay? Whatever you chose to do is working against you. It's just an illusion that it's working for you. Now, I know people say, but no, it did work for me because I got money out of it. I got my boo. But energetically, it worked against you. You become a slave to that which God doesn't approve of. You become in change and in bondage to it, spiritually and energetically. And all areas of your life becomes blocked because what you do is directly connected to the map of your soul. And the map of your soul, okay, literally it's like how you speak to God, okay? What God has said, what you can and cannot do, and how you must move and how you must not move, how you should look and how you shouldn't look. And God will never, ever say your genetics is not connected to that. Your genetics is always connected to the map of your soul. So when you say, oh, my answer is, oh, I can put a relaxer in my hair. You're saying that your genetics is not related to the power of your soul. You're literally thinking that that doesn't matter, and it does. Okay? For example, I have been chosen to have a lot of access to the Akashic records of the world, not just my own Akashic records. I have access to the record educational room, metaphysical world of the Holy Spirit, worldly knowledge. But would I have access to that knowledge if I was sitting here with someone else's genetics, faking it? I highly doubt. I highly doubt that would give me that earth energy that I need. If I was trying to have flowy hair and trying to look like a white woman, I would be blocked from the knowledge that I need to help those with my own genetics and help those that have come from the land that my genetics have migrated from. I wouldn't have access to that knowledge. Okay, this is very deep. I'm breaking it down. I have to break it down. Okay, y'all been cutting up. All right. So you may think you're fitting in, but there's nothing like fitting in when you get that power boost from God. Okay, if you are faking it, you're still spiritually average. Y'all, I said trigger warning. I said trigger warning. You may think you're not average physically because you're faking it and fitting in with these other fake people. Because fake people always encourage you to be fake. So if you're still spiritually average. You're still going to hit a wall when you want to go deeper and deeper into the abundance of knowledge and wisdom that will set you free automatically, almost instantly in any situation that you're in. You will have very little access to that knowledge. It will be like the creator saying, here's an appetizer, but if you want the whole meal, you got to stop being fake. Y'all. So I said, this is why I don't trust people who try to say they real, but they fake on the outside. I'm like, nah, babe, you're spiritually average though. That means you're going to be a spiritual anchor on me. Okay? You're going to benefit more from the relationship than I will. Y'all, I'm gonna have to shut up because I'm gonna get a couple. I'm gonna get a couple people upset because people love to say, "Don't judge a book by its cover," but you got to because the cover eventually matches the spirit. Okay, wherever the spirit is affected by the outside cover, it is affected. So the point, y'all, the point that I'm making, if your answer to why I have to look like this, why I have to be like this, why I have to be around those people, if it if it doesn't if it doesn't lead to because it breaks takes me closer to the creator, if that's not the final answer, then you're only slowly, gradually, ignorantly going down to hell. You're just doing it so micro-y because you're getting human pleasure. So you really don't sense that you're going down, that you're sinking. You really don't sense it, okay? That's what happened to me. For example, when I was real fake, okay? I can show y'all the pictures. Fake. I was trying to look like Aaliyah. I was trying to look like Salt and Pepper. I mean, it was real messy, y'all. Okay, changing hairdos every month, changing style every month. It was out of hand. I didn't realize that there was the major parts of my life that was going straight to Hades. Okay, I couldn't sense it. I couldn't sense that my teeth was taking a hit. Okay, because when you be fake, whatever you being faking is going to hog up your energy. It's going to hog up your mind. It's going to hog up your energy. So when you sit there and you're like, I'm going to sit with this $500 two-piece, 12-piece wig, it's hogging up your energy. It's hard being fake. That's hard work. But it's never hard work being real. Okay, once you get used to being real, retrain yourself to be real, it gets so easy. It just gets so easy. And then getting those answers comes easy. You sit and you meditate for 10 minutes and you get downloads that it takes another person, a fake person, an hour to get. You getting it in 10 minutes. Okay? It's real. I don't have to sit here and meditate for an hour because 10 minutes is like the strength of an hour for me. Because I try to show up as real as I can be. Real. Like, not if I'm unhappy, I say, God, I'm unhappy. I don't try to fake it. If I say I don't like the health condition of my hair, I say it. I say it. God, I don't like this health condition of my hair. If I feel like my genetics is struggling, I say help me with my genetics. I don't say help give me a genetic that will make me feel like I'm not struggling. I say, God, help me with what I got. Help me with what I got already. Help me with what I showed up with. Help me what I showed up with in my metaphysical world. Help me with that. And I know that whatever answers and path that I need to take, I'm going to intuitively, naturally get in it, get on it. Because see, God will only help you with what you showed up with. When you was a baby, you already showed up with this map. You showed up with a map of your soul. It was in your soul. Okay, the God particles, the instructions, the requirements. Okay, you showed up with it. All you got to do is ask God to help you with that. Stop trying to cheat and get fast and get around the training that you need, the outside training that you need. Okay, stop trying to get around that. Okay, that's hard work. Train yourself spiritually. Like, this is the realest talk. Train yourself spiritually, and the outside will just start to fall in line. Train yourself to love what God gave you. Sometimes it got to be like you just got to deprogram and then flood your spirit with the real. Okay, with the real. This means, especially if you're a minority, stop watching all those white films. Like, for real. Y'all never hear me say this because y'all always think I be like, always, coming down hard on the black community. But I'm keeping it real. Stop watching films all the time. And the ones that got women looking like white women. Like, don't look at their films, don't look at their pictures. I'm not trying to hate on y'all. Please. I know some of y'all women with the weaves is triggered. Okay? I know y'all are triggered. But I'm not more special than you getting this knowledge. I'm just keeping it more real. Like, for real. I'm not more special than you with these 2,000 videos of knowledge. You could get it. You could get it too, and extra, and leave me in the dust. But how more real can you get? Like, that's for real. How more truth can you tell the truth about your situation too, to God? Stop lying to God and telling God I'm cool with this when you know you ain't cool with it. Like, for real, I'm not cool with driving a handed down car. I'm not cool with that. God, I'm not cool with that. You need to remove it and bring something better, period. I need something healthier for me. Get rid of all the denial. Yeah, you might seem like you're so vulnerable. You're just so vulnerable. But vulnerability before God actually leads you to the help that you need. So you are not happy with the health of your 4C here. Ask God to help you with your 4C here. Don't ask God to give you different here. Like, don't. Okay? You're not happy with your body type. Ask God to give you the abundance that comes for your body type. You're not happy, okay, with the money flow. Ask God to bring the money flow from a source that is in high vibration that God approves of. But don't ask God to give you something better to do when you know what you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing. Just ask God to send you somewhere better for you so you can keep doing what you're doing that you're supposed to do. Y'all, this is, y'all, woo, child, okay? Now, I can understand if some of y'all are like, well, I got bald patches in my hair or I got bumps on my face, but let me tell you something. You still got to be true to genetics. Now, come on, y'all. Come on. You don't got to walk around bald headed. Like, you ain't got to walk around with bald patches, but you don't get to be fake and think that you're going to have all these breakthroughs out here. Every time you be fake, your cortisol is poked. Little spikes happen in your cortisol because it's low-key stressful being fake. Y'all, y'all, you ain't got to be plain face, but you don't get to wear white women's makeup. Okay, ebony women? Okay, you don't get to put lighter skin and try to look like them. Nah, come on now, y'all. And that anxiety just it festers even when you take breaks from being fake, looking fake, acting fake, not being true to your own energy. That anxiety is still working on you. Okay, you take the wig off and you're like, oh, my anxiety is still bad because you didn't try to keep it real with the wig on. All you had to do was get a wig that matches your genetics, and you won't even have, when you take that wig off, the anxiety won't be there. Like, y'all, I tell y'all, woo, my Sunday videos, y'all better go ahead and rewatch my Sunday videos. Where my weekend crew at? My weekend crew will tell you. I get under skin on the weekend. I get under skin. Okay, this is the conversations that need to go on in the Christian church. This is the conversation that need to go on in the Baptist church. Y'all think that white people, some of y'all people of color think that black people got more power than you. Know they just keeping it real with their own race. Okay, you don't see them walking around with 4C hair on their head. You don't see them walking around with our makeup on. You don't see them doing that. And the ones that's getting BBLs and being all fake, you notice that they men don't want them. They men like, I'm good. Because they like, you know what? If I want a sister, I'll go get one white woman. That's what they men say. Okay? Even the white men don't want fake. Like, this is real, y'all. They don't even want white women fake. They be just putting up with it. Like, I already married you, and my Catholicness don't believe in divorce, so I got to put up with your fakery. But you should have showed up fake, so I wouldn't have married you. White men be in our energy, okay? White men be in our energy. I feel like my relationships got had better growth once I started keeping it real. I got to know who was really fake. Real will reveal the fake. When you keep it real, the fake gets triggered. Okay? It exposes itself to you. So many people was exposed for being fake in my life when I started keeping it real. Okay? When I started keeping it real. When I start saying, the creator don't really want me eating takeout all the time, low vibrational takeout all the time. If I'm gonna eat takeout, it's gonna be the most high vibrational thing on this menu. When I started flipping in that energy, I started realizing the people who wasn't for me, when they would be in the car with me, I would notice they would get triggered. So I would be like, okay, you was fake the whole time then. Because you're getting triggered by the fact that I'm obeying God. Oh, okay, you was fake the whole time when we was together. So now I see you. Okay? You don't know who your enemies are. You don't know who your enemies are. Be as real as you can be, and you will find out who they are. And you want them triggered. You don't you aren't you sick and tired of your enemies hiding right before your eyes? Aren't you tired of these fake lovers and fake friends wearing the thickest disguises? Don't you want that disguise to slip off as soon as possible so you will save your precious time and energy? Like, y'all, this is the realest talk, okay? I found out that my childhood friend from kindergarten was fake the whole time. You know how I found out she was fake? Is when I started to get more feminine. The more feminine I got, the darker she got. The more disrespectful she got. The more distant she got. The more she started trying to call me to go out at the last minute. She didn't want to give me no time to get dressed. She would go out with other people suddenly and not invite me. Don't you know I ran into a couple people that knew her and said, hey, you know your friend is fake. I know some things. She fake. That's your best friend since kindergarten. She fake. And that's when I started thinking, like, maybe she been fake the whole time and I didn't see it. So I said, I'm going to pay attention. So the more feminine I got, I started to see it. Okay? So basically, she liked me only because she could protect her glow up when she was out with me. She felt like my glow up was jeopardizing her glow up. Y'all, it was real toxic. So she thought I owed her an apology for not being the boy in the group. And I told her, according to how God raised me spiritually from a child up, God chose for me to be feminine. So I'm not going to apologize because your feminine energy feels attacked by my feminine energy. Because I didn't apologize and not disturb the comfort of her feminine energy by being more masculine than her, she wanted to break the connection. We couldn't be cool no more. This is a true story, y'all. This is a true story. And when I had my daughter, she got even more triggered because I guess she was like, oh, she being real feminine now. She could be real feminine with her feminine daughter. I gotta go. So all of a sudden, she didn't want to be the godmother of my child. So that basically means I wasted 15 years of my life calling this girl my best friend. But none of that wouldn't have happened if I would have stayed true to the calling of my spirit to be real with my mother effing gender. Keep it real. Sister, you know deep down inside you love being feminine and sexy. You know it, okay? You know it, you love the sexy sassiness and feminine energy. You know that you just get so empowered even after you just step in it for a minute. But I wasn't keeping it real. I was afraid that the more feminine I would get, I would lose people. Okay, I felt guilty for being beautiful. I said, if I celebrate my beauty, I'm going to feel guilty. I'm going to feel selfish. I had to humble my beauty to not disturb the comfort of other people's insecurity. And I realized I wasn't keeping it real with myself. It's not my job to keep the level of other people's self-esteem by decreasing my own outward self-love. That don't even make no sense. But women of color who have, I guess, the genetics that are like, damn, you beautiful, like defined genetics. I'm talking about like what society would consider as abundant beauty. We are made to feel we are made to feel like we got to be fake. We got to be fake with our natural beauty. Otherwise, we're overstepping someone else's emotional boundaries. So I pretty much wasted 10 years of my life when I could probably, y'all gonna keep it real. I could probably be in a famous singing group right now. I could be in a famous model group right now. I'd probably be working with a fashion team for models. Had I kept it real. Had I kept it real. Look, your purpose requires you to keep it real. Okay? Don't believe me? How many of y'all take me more seriously looking like this? Y'all do. Y'all do. Keep it real. When I'm on here teaching, when I'm teaching about spiritual stuff and I'm teaching about God and I'm giving out art stuff tips and I'm in here singing soulful out here like yesterday, y'all said, "Ooh, this good vibes." Yeah. I was able to tap into the deep soul because I'm keeping it real outside. That's why I wore this shirt. See the shirt? Very uninterested in your opinion. The fake always has an opinion of the real. Real people just be like, "Hey, we tell the truth. You would look 10 times more beautiful and be so more powerful being real." They say I didn't want your opinion. No, you actually was getting the truth. That was a fact. Your opinion is telling me that I have to be fake to make it like your fakeness is doing it. Now that's an opinion. Y'all, hi everybody. Exactly. It sucks, y'all. This is the girl I fought for. This is the girl I was in kindergarten with, high school. But, when I went to go look at the pictures of everybody I was hanging out with, I noticed that they were all in their energy, that being true. I looked miserable, y'all. I never smiled. I never laughed. I was always in boy clothes all the time. Not workout clothes like this, not gym clothes like this. I was always in boy clothes. And I knew I was unhappy. I remember that I was even very depressed. I started to think that God gave everybody beauty and self esteem but me. And this is how I got to be, or else I'm not going to have nobody. Yeah, I was really brainwashed. My self hate was like strong. Okay. And one day, what happened was one day I started seeing people around me that was like real natural, like neighbors, coworkers, natural. And I saw like, hey, they keeping it real, they being natural. And because I do think that naturalness does help you to stay real inside. Okay. I think it does. It's like a spiritual discipline that you get that you can't resist getting that discipline because you keeping it real. Okay. You're keeping it as real as you can on the outside. But I remember that, you know, um, they just seemed like the people that chose them for who they were and not who they were trying to be. And I wanted that. And what I wanted was the right thing. Was the right thing. And when I started, I could show y'all when I went natural. I went natural about 15, 16 years ago. And I cut all my hair off, showed up at work with all the relaxer off. I wore no makeup for like a year straight. And when I tell y'all, let me tell you, I found out what managers was for me. I found out what coworkers was against me. I found out that I could be way more abundant trying to stay as real as I can. It's hard work staying real when you're wrong around other fake people because they try to always tell you you wrong for being real. But when you distance yourself from fake people, it's real easy to stay real. Okay. So when I started, to stay real in peace, to stay real in peace when you distance yourself from fake people. When I started doing that at my old job, I noticed, and I'm not just keep it real with y'all, like the quality men that wanted me, they was much higher quality, y'all. True high value, high quality men want very real women. Okay, they want to know who they waking up to, personality wise, and the way you look. They want to see that, y'all. Even if you wake up with a wig on, it better be believable with your genetics. It better be believable, or they feel like they're not waking up to somebody true, no matter how nice you are. And I noticed that men with real expensive cars, just like higher quality stuff and higher up jobs. And I noticed the CEO people were like shaking my hand. I'm like, why is these CEO men just shaking my hand out of nowhere? I even noticed that um, the female supervisors was acting jealous towards me. Okay, because a lot of female supervisors in corporate America be real fake. So they was acting jealous of me, but they was never jealous of me when I was trying to look like them. When I was like wearing their hair and dressing like them, they never got jealous. So that spoke volumes. Okay. I noticed all the rich clients, y'all, they they started like um giving me higher value gifts. The tips were higher and bigger. Um, it just all of a sudden it was like I was being treated like I was famous. The real famous energy is actually real. That's what fame is about. All the fame we seeing out here with this matrix, that's an illusion, y'all. That's an illusion. For example, when Queen Latifah was like showing her natural hair, okay, a lot. You notice how everybody was like, yeah, she the queen, she the truth. When she went, I noticed that Queen Latifah, her personality and energy started to change soon as she became a cover girl and she started doing white girl, cover girl look. Like she changed, okay?